Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode we ran into a lack of wood death spiral. Well, it wasn't really a lack of wood. We were able to get the wood, but we weren't able to distribute the wood to places where it needed to be. So we reverted back to a previous save, and we have approached it slightly differently now, but honestly I think things are going to be fine at this point. It was only a slight difference, and the slight difference was really that we didn't queue up our shrines. That doesn't require all that much wood to build these shrines, but that seems to have made the difference. We also immediately started importing some timber here. Not much, but a little bit of timber. So let's cruise forward here and make sure... Oh, right, I forgot about these guys. They were coming in immediately. Let's get that handled, and then let's make sure that our timber situation is good. Okay, so let's bring this down to 6x speed. There we go. And let's just attack these guys. They're pretty split up right now, so this is decent timing. Okay, we lost a common child in the battle. Sure. So our population is growing. We're at normal city mood right now. So our physical health is still at minus 49%. That's not ideal. We definitely need to get these herbalists completed up over here. But we do have some herbalists done at this point. And yeah, I know that they don't have herbs right now. But we do have some herbalists complete, and that is giving us some amount of that. Now we do have this sauna here that's also providing some healthcare. It wants some supervision. And that's okay for the moment, but the real question here is... Oh, the other thing that we changed was we turned off the access of wood for market and industry. And that's understood. We're just trying to construct with it right now. The question is, are we still going to death spiral at this point? We have not managed to build this herbalist or this herbalist, and both are quite important. So we will see. We brought in some timber there, and the timber immediately went into this herbalist. So that is a good sign. And we do have more timber production occurring. But not as much necessarily as we'd like. So we'll see if we're in a timber death spiral at this point. I didn't expect to run into a timber death spiral, like, ever. That was kind of wacky. But the only reason it happened was because of the increasing amount of unhappiness over time from, if we go into here, from physical health, which you can see is actually getting better now. Just because we have a couple of herbalists built in some locations. So that's absolutely fine. We do want to have a source of herbs down here eventually, and I believe I had previously linked up this road here and brought this road all the way up over here. For now, let's do that. But yes, we are quite flooded at this moment. So that's okay. We do need to start getting our shrines online, but now is not the time for that, apparently. I'm not going to order any additional construction here until such a time as our herbalists are actually built. So what is our current deficit? 180 timber. Okay. We're still on normal right now. And I want to check here. It's down to minus 9. Okay. So I feel like we've got this under control now. But we do need to get that timber distributed. This herbalist is now built, which is a big deal. And these down here need timber as well. But this herbalist is the most important thing at this moment. Once this herbalist is built, we can start addressing our slight god problem, which we'll definitely do. But we're just waiting on that for the moment. I don't think we're death spiraling at this time. In fact, I'm pretty certain that we're not death spiraling. So that is a very good sign. In fact, that is an incredibly good sign. To that end, well, I'm going to wait still before we re-enable timber for some of our other locations. This Sawyer getting finished would be very good. We clearly do need more timber production, and to that end, I kind of want to head up over this way and start doing some significant timber gathering up here. So we know that we want to have a road built all the way along here already, right? And to that end, I want to have the road go up here, but I'm going to put in a pair of timber yards, or rather a pair of sawyers is the term in this game, a pair of sawyers right up around here and here. And I'm also going to put in a porter yard right about here. And that is going to be accepting timber and getting clay and stone. So that timber yard will be, or rather that porter yard will be able to help out some down over this way. But we're unlocking access to this area up here is what we're doing with that. So that's fine, but our top priority still really needs to be this down over here. So I'm going to tell these to halt for the moment. There we go. We'll get the road built. That's absolutely fine. And I would like to get some chinampas going down over here, but we have to get this timber issue under control. We've got 429 timber here. Is our problem just that, well, this porter yard had a little bit of timber. We're just not really delivering the timber to this porter yard right now. But we are making progress on this. The herbalist is built. And at this point, I am comfortable returning timber to market and industry. Okay, so that looks good. And we do need people to move in, for sure. I'm checking in on our housing count down over here. So one thing I want to do is I do absolutely want to get chinampas going out over this way. So chinampa all of this, and chinampa what we can out over here. But there's not actually a lot that we can chinampa out over here for now. We'll just have to chip away at that for a little while. So that seems okay. I don't think we need to be importing timber at this time. So I'm going to turn that off. Bandits? Very rude. And we've got these two sawyers over here, and we've got these two sawyers down here. So we should have a pretty decent amount coming through of additional timber. Now, out over here, we can expand our farmers' huts. And the question is, do we need to? Let's check in on the situation on our cotton buds, specifically. That is this one. So we can see that our producers are lacking staff, sure. So our consumption is currently not high enough, but I think it'll get there. Yeah, we don't have any cotton buds here right now. I suspect we're going to need additional farms down this way. I'm going to put in 2, and that'll be something like this. So we'll put in a farmer's hut here and a farmer's hut here, and then this whole area is going to be cotton beds. Not like that. Yeah, like that. Okay, that was odd. But we'll have this all be cotton down over here, and that will boost up our cotton production. So that'll be fine for the time being. Now, I kind of want to increase our wages at this time. And what's our tax situation? Okay, let's cut our taxes down to 10%. That'll be fine, but we do need more housing out over this way. There's an army on the way. Noted. We will deal with that as we have all of the other ones. Some of our masons are lacking timber. Yeah, we're working on that. So I do want to allow construction on this up over here now. So we'll get going on that, but that's probably going to take a while before that's all good to go up there. So, our weapons and armor production is occurring, but it's occurring very slowly. We need more people down over here. And to that end, we can do chinampas down here. So let's chinampa everything over here that we can. That'll open up this area. An invading army has arrived, but we want to put in a common home here and here. I'm going to run a road down like that. And then I'm going to do a common home here, and we're going to run a road down like that, which this should be connected to. Okay, now we need to rally our forces, which are relatively significant. And let's see what they're coming with. Looks like not all that much. Excellent. We did lose a couple of people in that, but it's okay. That was not too bad. So we'll disband that, and the question now is, if we were to launch a counterattack, what would that look like at this time? We'd want to punish, ideally. Chance of success is showing as slim. Okay. So I think it's clear that we need to increase our number of weapons and armor, and we don't really have all that much maize down here either. So we clearly need some more maize production. I do want to have this heading down here. We need to do a couple of chinampas here. So that is intended to be chinampas right there. And then these need to be chinampa'd as well, because we're going to eventually run a road all the way down that. So that seems okay for now. And then this section right here, I'm not sure what we'll do with that yet, but I do want more food production right down here. So I'm going to place this as close as we can, but I don't think, yeah, we're not going to be gathering from this granary. Does this have anywhere to send its maize? I'm not convinced it does. We should absolutely build another granary down over this way. And we should probably do something about our gods situation as well. We need a chinampa here first. We need a chinampa right there. And then we can chinampa as much of this area as we are allowed to. About like that. I don't want to chinampa this because of our clay pits, but the rest of that seems relatively okay. So we'll do some maize fields down over here. That is 16. This is sized incorrectly. Before we get too much further here, I'm going to take this out. And we need to have this road actually go here. Okay. Something kind of like that. But we need to get these out. Eventually that'll happen. We'll put in our fruit here. Something about like that. And then our chili. That'll be fine for now. We'll get these roads built up. And this area here will need to be chinampa'd. So we'll get that going immediately. Okay. We're going to need to put our canals back in right here and right here. There we go. And now, of course, we'll need our road crossings there and there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It wasn't an overall issue. This road was just in the wrong place. So that's absolutely fine. We'll get that online. And as soon as this chinampa is finished, we're going to put in a granary right down here, is the idea. Which that'll be done very, very soon. There we go. So that granary goes in, and this is going to be getting fish and then accepting maize, fruit, and chili. We'll take this up to 160, 160, and 120. Okay. So that looks good. We do need more maize production, specifically for our barracks here. For our military overall. So that's looking fine. I want to check in on our housing down here. Okay. I do want to continue to run more chinampas on this side here. And we need to, of course, extend this road down a bit. More housing over here is quite necessary. So let's put in another set of common homes down this way. I don't know if we're getting services down here. That's the main question at this point. Yeah, we need access to a market. So a market down here would absolutely make sense. I'm wondering if it would be in range of this granary if we put it here. And the answer is yes, it would be. So we'll do that. And we've got a well dipper right there. We've got a sweeper right here. We may want to put in a new... Where are we? A new sentry post. Somewhere around here, something like that. Now, this area right down over here, we're going to want to start to chinampa everything that we can here and just start to push back this swamp. That's going to be a sort of medium-term project, but we can get going on that. So that sounds good. We'll get more housing coming in here, and we're still waiting on this Chinampa. Okay. This Chinampa here is done, though, so we can definitely get these 2 sections of road and these 2 sections of road. So that looks good. Now, I suspect we have enough cotton production at this moment. We can check down over here, though, and we can see we have no cotton buds there. Here we're accepting cotton buds. Here we're accepting cotton buds. So our number of cotton buds in storage is actually 0. Let's see. 3 of 20. It's starting to ramp up in some of these areas, but not others. I think that we should actually increase our cotton bud production. So we can get 3 cotton bud farms down over here, and this Chinampa is going to be done soon enough. So let's put in a farmer's hut right here, and then that's, of course, going to be maize. I'll put that on this side. Wait, that was 20. Is this missized now? It might be. We might have to alter this a little bit. If so, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the road should actually be right here. So let's take these out. This isn't a big deal. We'll just do that. And then all of this road should be removed. And should be replaced with road that goes through right here. That will get that'll get our sizing correct. So we'll get road in here, we'll get road in here, and we'll get road in here. These can still be swamp. That's fine. That'll be a source of irrigation for all of this. So no problem there. That is absolutely A-okay. So at this point, we now need to get our maize fields in here. So that'll be about like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then our chili beds. Wonderful. And then up over here, we can, of course, start putting in some additional cotton production. Now, the main question here is, can this porter yard reach? It can reach here, but it can't reach further. So that's understood. I do want to Chinampa some areas out over here. We'll get that started. But we do need to put in a porter yard about right here then. And we'll have this be getting clay, stone, and timber like this, and then accepting cotton buds for the time being. So that should, I think, be able to reach all the way down to here. Yeah, that'll be fine. So this farmer's hut will go in here, and then we'll put in our cotton beds about like this. That's not exactly how I want you to do that. Yeah, more like that. Okay, so that'll be fine. That'll get our cotton production online. So this next row out over here, we're going to have to start Chinampaing, and I do want to get going on that eventually. We'll need to Chinampa out to here, and then this row here will need to Chinampa as well. So that's going to be right out through here, but we don't want to get all of that going immediately. So we're going to halt construction on all of this, but I'm going to resume construction up here. So we're now going to start work on all of this. Okay, that seems fine for now. Enemies are on the march. That is noted. No problem there. We now have production going in all of these locations, except we're not quite getting the obsidian down over here, apparently. That is because this is not getting obsidian. That would help. So once that gets obsidian, we'll start moving that down here, and we'll start producing those weapons and the armor. At this point, we can see that our armorers are lacking cotton, and this was intended to be getting cotton as well. But we're accepting weapons and armor here. We're going to need to get some cotton coming in down here. I think I did do that previously, but we need to get like a porter stop down here or a porter yard. It could be either, but I feel like a porter yard is a little much. Let's put a stop down here, and this is going to be getting cotton and getting salt, because this has the timber and the obsidian. So that should be fine. Okay, so that will provide what we need there. And of course, we still have our religious issue going on at this point. So I'm going to build a great temple as we did before. right here. We'll get that going, and then we'll start to get some shrines up, but for now, that'll have to do. Well, actually, it won't have to do. We'll be okay to build other shrines. So for the moment, we know that this wants supervision by the Royal Palace, but also it wants supervision by this shrine. So I'd like to get that going. This is strong symmetry right here. Done. So we'll put that in, and I do want to continue to Chinampa some of these areas. So we'll Chinampa right over here. And anything that we're allowed to here. We just need to slowly push this swamp back. So that seems okay. We'll next get another shrine up over here. I'm hoping that we have decent symmetry up here. This is good symmetry. Done. We'll put that in right there. Okay, Jipe Totek. So let's go with somewhere around average symmetry. Good enough. And then somewhere out over this direction. Strong symmetry. Cool. Tlaloc, we're going to prefer to have up over here. This is average. This is good symmetry. What about over here? Average symmetry. We'll go there. And then we'll do good symmetry here. And then average symmetry here. Something like that. So that'll get us some Tlaloc up over this way. And then we don't really have too much going on down here. Quetzalcoatl is artisans. So I would like to have... these want to be... Okay, so that's this shrine. Hang on. This shrine. So good symmetry right here. That'll do. And that'll cover all of this area. That seems good. What about up over here? Average symmetry. This is good. So I'm going to put it in there, and we'll do something kind of like that. Down over this direction, we can put in a shrine to somebody. This is good symmetry, but I don't like that spot. This is strong symmetry. That'll do. So we'll get that in there, and then down over here, we can do something like this. We're going to need to build more shrines to some of these eventually. Abysmal and awful symmetry. Okay. What about up over here? That's awful. That's weak. That's better anyway. Average out over here. Sure, that'll do. And then we'll just build one section of road there to connect that up. Okay, so that'll get us at least some of these. I'm not going to look to hugely overbuild them, but we'll get that going. So that'll give us some religion coming in anyway, and that's absolutely fine. The enemies have arrived, and we do expect that. We should be having our military getting stronger and stronger at this point. So we're going to head off over here and form up. Where are they? Do they come from a different direction? Oh, they came from out here. Wait. So they're going to have to travel all the way along here and then come in right here. Interesting. So it's going to take them a while to get here. And they're going to be fairly spread out as well, as we can see. They're going to be funneled through here. And we'll just fight them right here. This is going to go very badly for them. They did take out our Sawyer, so that's something. Everybody get up here. Okay. Some of them are fleeing, but not all. I do want to put our Sawyer back in over here. Okay, now they're beaten. That was a really bad angle of attack for them. Excellent. So at this point, we are working on our third row out over here of farms, and we will get that completed soon enough. I'm just checking that this is sized appropriately. It is. That's good. And we see our maize increasing at this time, so I don't think we actually need to get our third row of farms online yet, but we definitely want to have the infrastructure built for it, so that seems absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and run our roads through here. Something like that. And then this one, we can't quite make it all the way through, but that's okay. So that seems okay. We definitely have the gods upset at us, and we're working on it. We've got a lot of work to do, though. We need quite a lot of artwork, to be precise. So that's noted. There's only one way to do that, and that's get artwork from the mason yards. So we might need more mason yards. We'll see. There's another army on its way. Okay. So out of curiosity, at this time, what would it look like if we did this? It would be up to poor chance of success. That's interesting. So our soldiers are definitely getting stronger. We've got armor and our weapons are coming in here. But what we really need is we need to get some maize rolling. We are net positive on our maize right now. Another army? Interesting. There's apparently 2 armies on the way. Not that we've had much trouble with them up until now, so that's absolutely fine. Let's get these Chinampa'd, and I want to continue to Chinampa this area where possible, and continue to Chinampa this area where possible. We just need to continue to push back this swamp. There's not a lot to do over here yet, but that's fine. Enemies are closing. Are we going to get another notification that enemies are closing? Okay. Invasion point is up over here this time. This is a better invasion point for them. So that seems fine. Let's get these guys ready to go. Okay, they're attacking up over this way. Let's go. Oh, this is awkward. They just kind of ignored us and ran right past. Okay, so there's another army arriving in the northeast. That seems fine. Okay, so they're arriving out over here. They did destroy our 2 farmers' huts. Very rude. And we're just going to head on up and meet them right up over here. So we beat one of those armies. And here comes the other. Okay. Well, there's that dealt with. No major issue there. That was all fairly easy for us to deal with. We do need more weapons, and we're working on it. I think we might have a bit of an obsidian shortage. Yeah, we probably have a bit of an obsidian shortage here. I'm going to bump up our obsidian import up to 80, and we'll see if that's enough. We're definitely not producing a lot of weapons at this time. That said, our amount of weapons that we have in stock is going up overall. So that is improving. That's good. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to expand, maybe not this row of farms. We'll see. We definitely need to get our gods situation solved. No doubt about that. And we need to see about getting our supervision here and getting our weapons count up so that we can hopefully launch an attack and stop them from attacking us. That would be nice. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.